Good evening and welcome to News Channel 8. I'm Jerome Aegean, and in our top stories tonight, we have another shootout in the midday at TUTU Park Mall on St. Thomas. The Virgin Islands Police Department received some much-needed training, and the cast of Oliver returns to paradise. These stories and more are up next on News Channel 8. Good evening, Jerome Aegean here, reporting to you from Gallows Bay. And in our top story tonight, another afternoon shooting occurred on St. Thomas at the TUTU Park Mall. We go now to St. Thomas with Lee Carl reports.
I'm out behind TUTU Park Mall. There's a cargo road behind the building, TUTU Park Mall, and residents in the general area heard the shots along with the workers at Kmart. There was a volley of 5 shots that appeared to be a shootout between 2 people. One person in a car. That car was bullet riddled. It's gone now. Police have taken it away. And another person apparently in a white Explorer. Here are the full details on that, and the person that was arrested at that TUTU Park Mall incident was a man identified as Kareem Liebert on charges of possession of an unlicensed firearm. He's 20 years old, a state Pavoni, arrested Wednesday. Police received a call of shots being fired behind the TUTU Park Mall. They inspected the area and received a radio transmission, and individuals involved in what was called a shootout had fled the area, boarded a safari at Foster Plaza. Liebert, who fit the description of one of the suspects involved, sitting inside the safari. He appeared nervous, holding his waist, ordered him out of the safari. As he was coming out, a pistol fell to the ground. He was also patted down. A Ziploc bag containing marijuana was found. Liebert was taken into custody and read his rights after he admitted to police he was not a licensed gun holder. Liebert waived his rights and said he was carrying the gun for his personal safety, and Liebert also allowed release in his father's custody on an unsecured $25,000 bond. His arraignment is set for Thursday. St. Thomas on a road behind TUTU Park Mall. Lee Carl for News Channel 8.
And in other news, staying on St. Thomas, we now have a suspect in the recent Market Square shooting. Here's News Channel 8's Lee Carl reporting.
I'm out here near Cross to Left in Cocopelli's. This is where a Merchants Market van pulled up the other day and apparently was to unload foodstuffs. The driver and the other person in the vehicle were suddenly accosted by a man in a mask. The loot was somewhere around $2,000 and a gold chain. So here is the rest of the story. Apparently that money has been and the gold chain has been recovered, but the person that was involved arrested, and he may have been, police are now looking into this, a warehouse worker who knew the route of the truck. An estate Mariendal man should be facing 20 years in prison if he's convicted of a first-degree robbery charge. Identified as Marcel Henderson, 20, he's charged with robbing 2 men at gunpoint Wednesday afternoon as they were delivering merchandise in this type of van outside the Cocopelli Cafe at Market Square East. An advice of rights hearing before Magistrate Judge Alan Smith, the detectives testified the victims told the police they were approached by the man wearing a black mask, sunglasses, black t-shirt, black pants, and he was armed with a handgun. The man robbed the victim of $2,675, yanked the gold chain off the other man's neck, and then took off in a white sports vehicle, an Explorer, toward the Home Depot. And the police made contact with that Ford Explorer in the area of Anna's Retreat. The man who fit the description the 2 other men were ordered out of the vehicle. The officers searched the men, found a black pellet gun, $2,675, and a black ski mask on Henderson. The gold chain also found on the street where the SUV had stopped. Henderson was taken into custody, advised of his rights. He waived and gave a statement confessing to the robbery, told police that the 2 men who were with him in the vehicle had no knowledge of the robbery. They were not involved in the incident. Smith upheld the robbery charge, ruled Henderson could be released to a third-party custodian. His mother posted 10% of $100,000. We do agree this offense is serious and the court deems it fit. Henderson is willing to abide by the 6 to 6 curfew to be placed under house arrest without a monitor if he can afford to pay back. Smith, however, maintained his position on bail amount. So the story ends that the person was apprehended and has now been released to custody of his parents, and the investigation is underway. In St. Thomas, Lee Carr.